Today, I'm going to teach aspiring bartenders just like you how to use a POS system to ring up drinks, and we're going to start right now. Hey now, Bartender Tribe, how you doing? Dave Allred, the Real Barman here. I hope you're having an awesome day. If this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe, hit that little bell so you don't miss out on any tips, tricks, and secrets on becoming a rock star bartender. So right now, as of the taping of this video, it's nearly 2020. Can you even believe it? I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. But remember, even if this video has been out a couple years and you're watching it in like August 2022, you don't have to wait for a new year to set a resolution or set new goals. Do what you want to do in your life right now. No fear, no regrets. Remember, it's not where you are, it's where you're going that matters. That's my little piece of inspirational advice for the day. With that said, let's jump right in on how to use a POS system to ring in drinks. By the way, POS stands for point of sale system. Okay, that's that little screen that bartenders and servers use to ring in your orders. And behind the bar, they also have a cash register drawer below the screen that pops out so they can put cash in it. Servers do not have a drawer on the floor. They just have the screen to ring in drinks. They keep their cash in their pockets. So let's jump on the computer so I can show you a few things, and then you can make POS systems your little bitch. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to go over a progression. I'm going to show you some screenshots of different POS systems. No one POS system is alike. They're all different. So I can't just show you one template on how it works, but it's fine. Like I said, you're going to be trained on it, and they all work in a similar fashion. So I'm going to give you a good core foundation to start with here. Then I'm going to show you the logical progression of ringing up drinks. And then at the end here, I will actually jump on my iPad and show you the Upserve POS system. We'll go behind the scenes, and I'll kind of show you in action how it works as well. I'll also show you some other POS features and functions. I'm not going to give you a full demo on how the POS system works, but you can go to my other video on the Upserve POS demo. I think that's like a 20-minute something video on how Upserve works. I'll put a card up right here, and you could go check that out if you want. That's more in-depth on how POS systems work. All right, so let's start with this. All right, here's a screenshot of a focused POS system. Okay, across the top here, you can see all these categories. All right, we got vodka, gin, rum, tequila. These are all the liquors. As we move down here, you can see you have food on here. If you work in a bar, you will most likely serve food. There's a lot more bars that serve food than don't serve food. But the logical progression of ringing up food is very similar to drinks. Okay, we'll go over that. I'm not going to go over all these buttons right now. I'll go over a few. And then I'll go over more later on. The fast bar, in case you're wondering, is for the bartenders only. So when servers ring in drinks, they have to define exactly what's going in the drink and how to make it. Otherwise, you as a bartender will not know. So they might have to ring in Absolute vodka with soda with a lime, and that prints up and you know how to make all that. If you're making the Absolute soda, you just hit Absolute. You don't need to put soda in because you're making it. You know you have to make it. So you would just hit fast bar, cash it out, and you'd be ready to go. The normal progression when a new guest comes is, new guest, table number of guests, and then you can start ringing it in. But if you're 3 deep, you're 4 deep, and you're slinging drinks, the fast bar is very fast. Someone orders a Budweiser, they hand you 20, you turn around, you hit Budweiser, cash out, done, drawer opens, you give them their change, and you can move on to the next one. You don't have to start a new tab every time. That's the fast bar. Really quick down here, so you can see the cocktails has been highlighted, so all the cocktails pop up. If I were to hit vodka gin, all the vodka gins would pop up, and you could order from there. Down here at the bottom, you can see this recipe button. Most POS systems have something like this, but most of them are not programmed because owners and managers are simply too busy and they don't want to take the time to do it. So do not rely upon a recipe button. You would hit Manhattan and hit recipe, and the Manhattan recipe would show up right here so you would know how to make it, but you cannot rely upon that. The open liquor button is in case someone orders something that is not in your POS system and you have to charge for it. It's not ideal for owners because they can't track their liquor, but someone might say, give me a hot Miami floozy or whatever, and you ask them what's in it. You say, hey, how much should I charge for this? You go open liquor, they say $8, and you ring it in, and then you can charge them for something. This is another POS system. I can't remember which one this is, but similar fashion. These are all your categories. that you would click on. Right now it's on beer. All the beers pop up. It's kind of cool. This one has pictures. And then from here you'll hit like Bud, and then you got to choose pint, schooner, or pitcher for the size, and it comes up over here. Anything in black means it's already been ordered. If it's in blue, it won't be ordered till you hit the order button. Okay? So let's go through the logical progression of how to order drinks. Okay, I'm going to give you a little template here. This kind of looks like the Aloha POS system, the way this is set up here. So here's your categories on the left. All right, that's the first thing you're going to search for. So let's say that someone says, I want Grey Goose. You'll go to vodka. All the vodkas will pop up. These are your items. Okay, you search for Grey Goose. You punch Grey Goose. Now we have to modify it. Okay, and as a server, you always have to modify it. As a bartender, you might have to modify it if you have to upcharge for something. Okay, like I said, if you're making a Grey Goose soda, you don't need to type in soda because there's no charge there. But if you're making a Grey Goose Red Bull, you will need to hit Red Bull because it charges for it. So, as with means as martini or as a lemon drop, anything like that. Or with, meaning with cranberry, with ginger beer, with Red Bull, so on and so forth. So these are the modifiers. These aren't all the modifiers. There are just a short sample of modifiers, but this is what it means by modifiers. And you have to make sure, like I said, things that get upcharged. A martini is usually like a $2 upcharge. Lemon drop will be a $2 upcharge. It gets extra liquor in there, so you have to charge for it. Some places charge for juices, some don't. Some places will charge like 50 cents for cranberry or $1 for cranberry. Red Bull is almost always a charge. That'll be like a $2 charge. Ginger beer is very expensive, so most places charge $2 or $3 for an upcharge. Usually not for, sodas and soda water, stuff like that. So anything that there's a charge, you as a bartender need to make sure to hit it. So a martini isn't upcharge. After the modifiers, there's other modifiers such as garnishes. Again, you as a bartender would not need to ring in a garnish. You know what garnish you're putting in it, but a server might need to do it, especially with a Grey Goose martini, because a martini can get an olive or a twist or an onion. So the server needs to ask them, what do they want in it? So we hit olives, and then there's other modifiers such as actions. Do you want it shaken, stirred, blended, anything like that? And again, these aren't all the modifiers, but we're going category, we're going item, and then we have to modify how we want it. Does all that make sense? Fantastic. All right, and what's going to happen is if the server rings this in, it's going to show up on the ticket as Grey Goose, as martini, olives, shaken, and then you'll know how to make it. You actually don't have to put the olives in there usually. The server comes up and garnishes it themselves. But if another server is helping out run drinks as they should, they'll know that olives should go in there since they didn't order it. All right, let's move on to a real Aloha screen. I'm just going to go over quickly a couple other features before we move on to the live upserve demo part. So you can see here again, anything in black has already been ordered. This person just ordered a Cosmopolitan. Again, here's all the categories. They went to cocktails, Cosmopolitan. Now, if you wanted to modify this, you would have to highlight Cosmopolitan and hit this modify button. Cosmopolitan is just made the way it's made usually. Most of the cocktails are. So there's usually no modifiers that will pop up. So you would have to highlight it, hit modify. There's another thing called forced modifiers, in which once you hit something, like if you were to hit Grey Goose back here, all right, automatically a screen would pop up with all this because we need more information. All right, it's not just a single cocktail. All right, in this case, there's no forced modifier, so you would have to highlight and modify if you wanted the Cosmo extra shaken or anything that you want to do. Speaking of, if there's a modifier that's not built into the POS system, you can type in, most POS systems will have where you can highlight it, type, and then you can type in if there's some weird modification, excuse me, that is not normally built into the POS system. So you can type in any message you want to the kitchen, or the servers can to the bartenders to give specific instructions. Other things down here, the hold button, this is used for food. So when someone orders an appetizer and they give you the whole order, they order salad, they order appetizer, they order their meal. So you don't forget, you can actually enter everything, and then you can highlight the entree and put it on hold so it's not ordered yet, but it's already on there. And usually, like if you have a map of the floor and you can see your tables, which I'll also show you on Upserve, it'll actually blink the table so it reminds you have something on hold. I know I'm moving kind of fast on this, but let's show a screenshot of this. So they ordered Cosmopolitan, they ordered the Caprese, and they want to wait on the dessert. So what the server's done here is they've ordered the cheesecake, they've highlighted it and put hold, and now that shows up in pink, which means it's on hold. When the server's ready, they'll go ahead and highlight it and they'll hit order, and it'll send that order off to the kitchen, and they know it's now time to make cheesecake. Okay, other things on here. Is there a to-go on here? Takeaway. So same thing here. If you highlight anything, someone wants a to-go order, you'll highlight it, you'll hit to-go or takeaway, and when it prints up in the kitchen, it'll say so on the ticket. So if someone gets, a salad and a burger to go, it'll say to go right under the meal. Now the cooks know not to put it on a plate. They know that they need to put it in to-go boxes, and it goes in a bag. Other helpful things. The quantity. So if someone orders like 27 shots of tequila, you could order just one shot, hit quantity, and enter 27, and it's a lot faster. Here's an example of like beer. Someone ordered Heineken, you can go quantity 5, and it will order 5 Heinekens all at once, so it's a lot faster. Let me see if I'm missing any other major buttons on here. Transfer checks. Split checks. So this is usually kind of a nightmare for servers and bartenders, but with the POS systems these days, it's not that big a deal. So if someone wants to split the check so they can all pay separately, you can hit split, and you can add as many split checks as you want, and then you can just highlight these items. You touch it with your finger, it highlights them. You touch any of these rectangle areas here, and it just moves it over automatically. And once you have everything the way you like it, you just hit print, and it will print all 3 tickets. You can hand them to the guests individually, so that's very convenient. Finally, as promised, let's jump into the Upserve POS. This is on the iPad. They actually use iPads at Upserve. The servers can go right to the table and take orders. It's really cool. Or they can just work from a station, either way. But don't you feel better already just seeing this? And doesn't it give you more confidence when you go in there? All right, isn't it going to feel great when you get hired and they start training you and you're just nodding your head like, yep, I've seen all this. All right, so I hope this is giving you a good foundation. Let's go ahead and clock into the Upserve POS here. You don't need to know much about this similar part. There's a lot of admin stuff on here. They've given me my own account because I work with Upserve. But let's go to the tables and kind of show you how to ring all this in. So if we look at all the tables, bar, main dining room. So if I look at the bar, they have a map on here. All right, not all POS systems do. Most of the new ones do now. So all you have to do is touch one of the bar stools here, and it starts the tab immediately. If I go back here, I'm going to go to the main dining room, and here's the map for the tables on the main dining room. You can see the ones in blue. That means there's people sitting there. So we can't start a new tab there. We have to go to any of the other tables. So let's just kind of ring up the drinks like I talked about. Let's pick table 10. It'll ask you the number of guests. Okay, we're going to say there's 4 here. And it immediately opens a screen and we're ready to go. The categories we talked about are over on the right here for Upserve. All right, food, liquor, beer, wine, non-alcoholic beverages. We can go right down the line, and again, all of the items start popping up when we do that. So let's ring in exactly like our example. We'll go to liquor, vodka. We'll go Grey Goose, and it's going to ask you here the position. So some places do this, some places don't, but if you name the positions of where people sit, if a different server brings out drinks or food, they know who they go to. They don't have to ask you, who's getting the nachos, who's getting the Grey Goose Martini. They can just set it down. So this one does it. We'll say they're sitting in position 2. And then it's a forced modifier. Okay, I didn't have to go and highlight Grey Goose and hit the modify button to modify it. It's forced modifiers, so they all pop up. This is a demo account, so again, they don't have every modifier on here, but you can see the ones that are charged for right here. $2, $2, $2. That's going to do an upcharge. So let's say, like we said in our example, they're doing a martini. Hit the little check mark, and now they're ready to go. If I needed to modify something more, I could highlight it, and then go to a modifier, say, extra cold, olives, whatever else I need. In this example, that's the only forced modifier we have. Let's order a couple other things. We're going to go to beer. We'll go to draft beer, and they have all the drafts on here. You can see in parentheses in this system, they tell you how many are left, which is really cool. We'll go Lagunitas. Again, table number. We'll say the position is not table number, table position. The person in position 1 is having the Lagunitas. And then again, forced modifier, are they having 16 ounces or 22 ounces? You can see the upcharge right there for 22. Let's say that they want a 22 ounce because they're very thirsty and they're good to go. Next person's having wine. You can go by the bottle or by the glass. We'll go red glass. They're going to have 7 Moons Red Blend. In position 3, check mark, and they're ready to go. All right, and then quickly, let me talk about food. All right, we talked about food earlier. It's very much the same thing. All right, so let's go to meat, grilled hanger steak. Person in position 1 is having it. And then the forced modifiers. How do they want it cooked? Medium rare. Next forced modifier, fries. Again, a demo account. Normally it might be like fries, mashed potatoes, cream spinach. They would have a choice right here, and you would choose the choice. So since they don't have a choice, I'll just do fries. And now it shows up here, and they're ready to go. So again, food is very similar. You're going to choose an item, and then you're going to modify it if necessary. And then we go ahead and hit send. It's going to send it off. And they all turn gray, which means it's printing off in the bar and in the kitchen. Obviously, if you're the bartender, these aren't going to print up because you're making them yourself, but that's going to print off to the kitchen. Let's look at a couple other things really quickly. Then we will wrap it up. So quick serve on the left. We talked about this. Fast cash, fast bar, same thing. So again, someone just wants something really quick. They want a beer, your weeds. They're going to order their Lagunitas, a 16-ouncer. And all I got to do is hit fast cash, and it cashes it out, and the drawer opens, and they're done. Okay, you just take their money, you give them their cash. I'm not starting a tab, so you can see how fast that is, as opposed to here. Let me show you quickly the closeout screen, which will be similar on most POSs. Let's say that table 10 is ready to close out. We're going to go to payments down here, and then here's all your options. You can go fast cash if they just give you like $60 and like keep the change, which is a really cheap tip. But you could just hit fast cash, it will cash it out. Or I could go cash, and then I could actually enter like $80 if they gave you $80. Or I can go credit card. And here you can go, you don't have to enter the card number and everything manually. You would just swipe it right here and all the information would come up and they would be done. Again, here on Upserve, you can split the checks very easily. So if they're splitting it in half, there's 2 people and they want to split it, you can do that. If there's like 5 people at the table, you could do it by 5 and each person's paying $11.56. So it figures it out for you. So that's really convenient, really cool. So let's say that they just pay with cash. They give me $70, enter. All right, done and closed check, and now they're closed out as well. So that's simply how you close out checks. Closing out checks is very easy and very simple. There you go. There's your mini training on how to use a POS system to ring up drinks. I hope it was helpful. Now, if you've been itching to become a bartender, you're going to want to make sure to click on the link below this video to see if the registration for the Real Bar course is open right now. I've had more than 10,000 people go through the course now, and they are killing it behind the bar. And they're making truckloads of money, and I want that to be you too. And I know you're like, yeah, but does the course really work, Dave? I mean, will it work for me? Well, if it didn't, I wouldn't have all the success stories flooding my email box on a weekly basis. So since this is like a New Year's theme video today, it's like a new start theme, think of me like the mama bird. I'm kicking you out of the nest. All right, it's time to take action. It's time for a new opportunity like nothing you've ever done before. All right, it's time to fly, baby bird. Time to fly. All right, take fear, punch it in the face, go after something in your life that you can be proud of. All right, I want to thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to see you next time. I'm out.